Hey everybody, what's going on? This is a great day. Look at what car is for sale right now. This is the Zonda Cinque, the car that I've been wanting for weeks now, and I missed with the special vendor before, and I had conceded to not being able to ever get the car until it came up in the special vendor again. And so I got on and checked my my thing, and the announcer was like, "Hey, hurry up! If you check the specialty vendor, you might be able to catch him. He has some cool cars." And I was like, "Oh, shut up, dude." I was like, "I already know. I checked it the other day." And so I pulled it up, and what do you know? There it is. Dream car, dudes. Dream car. Like, I have a lot of cars that I want, or that if I had a ton of money, there are cars that I would love to drive and love to have, and would be what I would consider a dream car. But if we're talking like true like stratosphere dream car, like a car that's like only possible in your dreams, like if I won the lottery, or if I became someone that had more than $10 million, this is the car. This is definitely the car. The Zonda Cinque, there's only 5 in the world, so I don't know how that would work, but there's many variations of the Zonda, which I'll get into in a minute, but for now I'm going to let you hear this unfiltered. Listen to the raw power of this bad boy. Naturally aspirated V12. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. So there's some sort of rev limiter up at about 206, some sort of fuel cutoff that really drastically affects the speed. So basically, as you see me during this race, I'll basically lift off and go about 80% throttle once I get to around 200. I don't know if I do it right here. Look how sick that car is, dudes. Oh my, beautiful. So some sort of fuel cutoff. But the Zonda is an absolutely incredible car. I didn't know this, but the Zonda actually started in 1999. And originally it was supposed to be named something different, but he decided to go with Zonda, which is the name for a regional wind they have down in Argentina. Yeah, so it has a different name. This is a terrible corner. I overshot this so far. But look how close I come to hitting the wall. Woo! Oh, you know, I think I did tap it, actually. I didn't notice that when I raced, but I just heard it right there. Dudes, this car, I'm telling you, this car is just something else. Just the looks of this car and the power of this car. This car is everything I dreamed it would be when I bought it. Now, this is terrible. Everything I dreamed it would be when I wanted to buy it. The complete opposite of the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, which I bought and was immediately disappointed with, like within the first few corners. This car was absolutely the complete opposite. Within the first few corners, I thought, this is it. I've arrived, I've found my hopper that I'm going to race in, and this is it. This is the car to drive, and I can't believe that I got it. I can't believe that it came up at the specialty dealer again. And the funny part is, I was debating whether or not to buy the Zonda R when I got on. Like, right as I was waiting for the game to fire up, I was like, you know what, I should just buy the Zonda R, since that's the best I'm going to get, until the Cinque comes around again. And luckily, I checked the specialty dealer. Again, like I said at the beginning in my head, I was like, dude, I was like, shut up, dude. Announcer, don't tell me there's a specialty dealer. I know, I already checked him. But I decided to go look anyway, and I'm glad I did, because This thing was there immediately, and I bought it within like 8 seconds of it being there. So, man. Just, and after driving it, I drove it on Le Mans, and then I drove it on Prague Full. And this is an incredible car. I have no tune on it yet, but this thing is absolutely beastly. Everything I hoped it would be, and then some. And then some. So, like I said, the Zonda started in 1999, which I didn't know. They revealed it at the Geneva Auto Show. And you know, the Zonda is a car designed by Horacio Pagani, Italian car manufacturer. So, some of the original one, it was a Formula 1 champion, some of the original engineering. His name was Juan Manuel Fangio. I think that's how you say it. And originally it was going to be called the Fangio F1 after him. But after he died in 1995, they renamed it the Zonda Wind, which is, again, it's a regional term for like an air current that goes above Argentina. And so the Zonda, the original was called the C12, debuted in 1999. It had a 6-liter Mercedes-Benz V12 engine, which is still the engine that it has, but it's a bigger engine and it's a little bit different. This one only had 389 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque with a 5-speed manual. When you contrast that with the latest version of the Zondas, before they discontinued them, the Zonda 760s, you're doubling the horsepower, which is just incredible. But they only built 5 of those. They were still available in 2002 when they came out with the next version, which is the C12S. Like I said, there have been many versions of the Zonda. Many versions. In fact, they used to make fun of it on Top Gear because they're like, this is the last Zonda they're ever going to make. And they said that like 3 different times. Apparently, Pagani said, like, we're not going to make any more of these. And then they did. Because there was just more demand for them. So, as is the case with most cars like this, not one of the unfortunate parts, but they actually do have to crash test one of these cars. So, you know, even especially like you think of Koenigsegg today, they build these, you know, 275 mile an hour, 270 mile an hour cars that are worth $2 million, and they have to crash test one. They have to build one completely normal spec as they would for a customer, and then they just have to crash it so that they can have some of the data on how they do. So, there's actually only one remaining Zonda C12, which was the original one. It's owned by a lady in Switzerland. And Horacio Pagani himself actually approached her and offered to buy it from her for historical reasons, so that he could keep it in like their museum and stuff like that. And she rejected it. She was like, "Nah, I'm keeping this thing," which I thought is kind of weird, but also kind of funny because she wants it. So then they introduced and this is the interview, and this thing sounds so secure. I'll actually let you listen to it. Again, absolutely incredible. So the next one that came along was the Zonda S, and that had the 7-liter engine, which was the AMG version of the engine. So just in this one, which debuted just a couple years later, this one went up to 540 horsepower, up to 390. 0 to 62 or 0 to 100 kilometers, 3.7 seconds, 7.5 seconds to 160 kilometers, which is 100 miles an hour. And do a quarter mile in 11.3 seconds. Could go 208. So then there was a Zonda S 7.3, which was an even bigger engine, 7.3 liter, which was even bigger. It even had more power. That was when they added traction control and ABS, because these things were getting, 500 horsepower at that time was absolutely out of control. And with no ABS or traction control, that's asking for a problem. That's like the Carrera GT time frame, and the Carrera GT is notorious for having a few deaths, including, I believe, Paul Walker died in a Carrera GT, which is one of the last analog supercars. One of the last supercars that doesn't have all these digital things and dual clutch transmissions and all sorts of fancy traction control and all that kind of stuff. It's just a raw, extremely powerful car. So anyway, then they made and there was a little bit of controversy with that one because they claimed it could go 208. And then they tested it in an article, I forget what the article was. It was an Evo article, I guess. And they tested it on the Autobahn, and they could only reach 198. And then Pagani engineers came back and said, oh yeah, well that wasn't, you know, maximum downforce mode, and then the article was like, no, we took the spoilers off and all the downforce stuff. So I don't know, just weird contention. They claimed it, which again, to compare to Porsche, that's a complete opposite of Porsche. Porsches are very, like, they underrate their own power. So if they say it's 500, that's a really conservative power number, and it might be 520. If they say it can go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, it really might be able to do it in 3.2. So Porsche is extremely conservative. They under-promise and over-deliver, whereas in this case, you know, at least in this one specific case, Pagani was on the opposite. So, but yeah, I mean, this was a couple years before the Carrera GT, though this one came out. So in 03, they introduced that car as a roadster, and then came the Zonda F, which was, the F stands for Fangio, the guy Juan Manuel Fangio. I think that's how you say the name. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but they mostly re-engineered the Zonda. At this point, it shared a lot with it. They used the same 7.3-liter engine, but they messed up they changed the intake manifolds, exhaust. They did a retune, so they're making almost 600 horsepower now, and they only made 25 of those. And this was the first year that the car came with the 2 headlights. They added some new bodywork. They added a new spoiler in the back, added more vents. You know, like you can see those louvers above the front wheels there, even from this angle, to let some of that built-up air get out from underneath the tires and the wheel wells. Yeah, but I mean, then they also offered carbon ceramic brakes that they designed with Brembo, extra wheels. They used different intake manifolds and different exhaust systems that you could get also. So then, again, they introduced that one as a roadster also, so the Roadster F. Also 25 units of those. So then they had a Roadster F Club Sport, which is a lightweight version of the Roadster F. Extensive use of, and this is when they're for the first time kind of using the Carbo Titanium, as they call it, which is a carbon fiber titanium hybrid, which is where they actually weave strips, almost like strings of titanium in through the carbon fiber. Now, those of you that don't know, titanium is an extremely light metal. Lighter than aluminum, way lighter than steel, obviously, but you know, not quite as light as carbon fiber. But a lot of cars use titanium parts. A lot of high-end cars use titanium parts to help reduce weight, because it's not quite as expensive as carbon fiber, but it still gets the job done as far as lightweight. But yeah, so anyway, that's where they weave it. Yeah, so I mean, so this was in the episode of the Top Gear, where they featured this. They tested this Roadster F Club Sport, which is again just a lightweight version of the Zonda F Roadster, and it actually beat the Bugatti Veyron in the track test on a Top Gear, which, you know, it's not super surprising, but so then came the Cinque, and that's what we're on right now. The Cinque was meant to be the last iteration of the Zonda. So the Zonda R was made right before this, and the Zonda R was the race variation of the Zonda, the one that I almost bought. And there were so many customers that wanted that Zonda R, but they wanted it road legal. So they wanted a Zonda R, but legal for the road, because it was not road legal. And there was so much demand for it that Pagani said, okay, we'll make some of those. And so they made 5 of them. And again, this was supposed to be the last one, so they only built 5. Each of these was sold for like $2.1 million in U.S. money, which is insane. And they all went out and used in about June, it says, of 09. But difference is, this is the first year they put in the 6-speed sequential gearbox, which would be like the paddle shifters. So you know you have to go click to go up 1, and if you want to go down 2 gears, you click twice. They were able to make the shifts take less than 100 milliseconds. 0 to 60 was 3.4 seconds, and also had much more use of the Carbo Titanium. And so what the titanium does is it increases the strength and the rigidity of the carbon fiber, so it's much stiffer and much stronger. So in the and I didn't talk about this earlier, but when you go to titanium parts, there's also you can also go to magnesium parts, which is an even lighter metal. That's like, for example, the Porsche 911R uses a magnesium roof, and what that does is take some of the weight off the top of the car and lowers it a little bit. But magnesium is also a lightweight part. So in this particular Zonda Cinque, They used magnesium and titanium to build the whole suspension. And it still has the same 7.3-liter engine, but we're now up to 670 horsepower and 575 foot-pounds of torque. So they redid the bodywork. There's a bigger front spoiler, new side skirts, diffuser, bumper canards, like little bumper things. Like you can see the diffuser in the back, how sweet that looks. They made it flatter underneath, which helps make the car more slippery, give it more downforce. And then they added that roof scoop that you can see right there above the roof. Also, so at 221, it says at 221 miles an hour, which I mean, this car can't even go that fast, but at 221, it says 1,650 pounds or 750 kilograms of downforce, which is pretty incredible. So, and this is the Zonda Cinque Roadster, which is exactly the same, but obviously the roof can come off. And yeah, so this one's about $2 million. But then, of course, they went on to produce the Zonda Tricolore, which is sort of like a little homage to like a fighting squadron, fighter plane squadron, who do aerobatics and stuff like that. So they did that. There's an HP Barchetta Zonda, and then they did the Zonda R, of course, which they made 15 of those, and then even the Zonda 760, which is, again, many people requested the higher power number within the same platform, so they ended up doing that. And that's really similar to like Koenigsegg, how they did that with the 1-to-1. So with the Koenigsegg 1-to-1, you can actually order any Koenigsegg you want now. Oh, that's great. I hope you didn't hear that. The Koenigsegg 1-to-1, you can actually order that car with, you can order like the Regira or the Agira, any of those cars. You can order those with the 1-to-1 power package, where they actually upgrade the power to the 1-to-1 powertrain, so you can get that extra power in the same body. So, guys, I literally could not be more excited with this car. I can't. This is what I've been waiting for. It's everything I thought it would be, and then some. And it is absolutely incredible in every sense. I couldn't be more pleased, and I'm super excited. I'm glad I didn't buy another car. I'm glad I had the credits lying around that I could buy it, and it's just awesome. So, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for checking out my stuff. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button. Check back soon. I've been uploading. I've missed a couple days recently, but I've been trying to upload every day, and I want to continue that. So check back soon for another video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.